Welcome, everybody, to the very first episode of The Extra Yard that takes place after a Dolphins game for this upcoming season, 2021-2022, although they really just used 1 year. Sorry we're starting late. It's just Juan, guys. None of us know what to do with him. We try to get him in line. He uses excuses like family, but none of us believe him. I think he's just off doing whatever he wants. It's just look at this face. I want to show everybody this face. Look at that face up close and personal. Just depressing, really, the fact that you're always late. We've got a lot to talk about. We've got to talk about the game that happened this last Saturday between the Dolphins and the Bears. Practices have started up again, this time against the Atlanta Falcons. There was a trade that was made. But before we get into any of that, I'm going to throw it over to Juan. Juan, there's a very special contest taking place right now through Thrive Fantasy. It's in partnership with 5 Reasons Sports, specifically 5 Reasons Dolphins. It's a really great one you got to check out. But Juan, why don't you tell the people a little bit more about it?
Yeah, Thrive Fantasy has partnered up with us. We partnered up with them. And we actually have our own code where you'll be able to get instant match deposit, I believe, up to $100. All you have to do is literally put $10, $15, $20. They're going to give you the same $10, $15, $20 right back into your account. And the good thing about the week 1 prop that we're going to be talking about today is it's all Dolphins. So literally nothing but Dolphins. And it's completely free. So you're not literally having to use any of your money. It's just a free prop that you could probably win or you could probably lose. But at the end of the day, it's free. It goes with Tua. It talks about Mike Gesicki, which I'm really harping on having a huge year. It talks about Jalen Waddle. It talks about, I think, Gaskin as well, I saw. So it does a lot of things where, put your money where your mouth is. If you think Miles Gaskin is going to have a great year, bet on it. If you think that Gesicki is going to be the biggest benefactor of the attention to Waddle, to Fuller, to all these guys, put your money where your mouth is, and basically it.
Thank you very much for that, Juan. Again, if you guys don't know, there should be a link in the description, Kai.
There should be. Yes.
There should be a link in the description. You guys can go ahead and click that. Again, if you use our code as well, you get a 100% money match from Thrive Fantasy up to $100. So if you put in $100 into Thrive Fantasy, you get a free $100. And honestly, why would you ever turn down free money? It just doesn't make any sense. You don't need a degree to tell you that. Free money, take it every freaking time. With that being said,
also Insight credit as well. So I think it's kind of like it just stays there. Like there's no like refunds or anything like that as well. Just to mention that, just because I know some places do refunds and stuff like that.
You're not gonna just like put in the $100 and then just take it all. Yeah, don't do that. You can't do that. It's fine.
Just play, you'll win. You get some.
Yeah, just play to win. That's what you're there for. Thrive Fantasy. It's a great place to do that. Don't forget to check it out. So let's talk about the game. And I think the most important thing that happened in that game.
Really quick, we mentioned our contest, correct? I was trying to get into Thrive so I could show it up on the channel. But
that's what Juan just talked about.
Okay, Juan, did you mention the passcode for that contest?
I was seeing it. I don't think we have it yet.
So we do have, in that contest, just to mention it, just in case, I wanted to make sure, because I was looking at to bring it up on the screen. You can either find that through the link, and we're going to add that into the description after the show. If not, I'm also going to throw that description into the chat here in a little bit for anyone if you want to join. On that week 1 thing, you can either join by the link, or if you also find it on it will say 5 fins. It'll say something along that line. The password to enter is 5 fins. That's the number 5 FINS all together. Just so everyone knows, just in case you don't click the link and you see it, it's 5 fins.
Thank you, Kai, for being much more professional about it. Next time I'm going to let you do it because Juan was a train wreck per usual. So we got to talk about the game against the Bears. It was actually a very entertaining game, and I think there was a lot that you can pull away from it as a Miami Dolphins fan. There's a lot of different things that we can talk about. We can talk about the quarterback position. We can talk about the running back position, as obviously Juan wants to do. We're absolutely going to talk about offensive line. Defensively, my goodness, just a fantastic showing for them. Appreciate the spamming in there, Kai.
You're welcome.
Juan, where do you want to start? What's the first thing you want to talk about from that game?
I mean, there's a lot to talk about negatively, but I think we could start off positively tonight.
Oh, that's how. Okay, wait, yeah. So, okay, for both of you guys, if you guys have got to get good news and bad news, you like getting good news first and then bad news?
You're gonna get double bad news. Just fair warning.
Oh, so it's all bad news for you?
No, but I'm a known negative Nancy.
So then why don't we sandwich it, right?
Yeah.
Let's go bad news and then good news, and then we'll get into the offensive line.
Well, fuck.
Because I mean, I said offensive line.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Okay, so negatively, Malcolm Brown looks like a Jordan Howard reincarnate. I mean, the guy had 9 carries for 8
Jordan
yards.
Howard had a hell of a block in preseason.
Did he? I have not seen that game.
He did.
I just found it interesting. He had, because when the game first started, he had a couple good carries. I saw some push. He finished forward. But by the end of the game, I was like super shocked to see that he had 9 carries for 8 yards.
Well, we've got a whole segment planned for Austin Jackson in the offensive line. Just hold off. We got you.
AJ.
He had 9 carries, 8 yards. His longest was 1 for 6. So simple math is he had 8 carries for 2 yards. Like, that's concerning.
I'm happy you can do simple math. I got a little scared for a second.
I tried. I had to write it down pen and paper, by the way. But look, it's concerning to me because it's that Jordan Howard PTSD. But also negative to him just because Salvon Ahmed did perform. He did ball out. And surprisingly enough, Myles Gaskins was kind of sprinkled in there, I think, to maybe middle second quarter, almost third quarter. So that was actually really surprising. Not even PYPC. That's
again.
Right,
this is Kendall, newest member on Clutch Corner. So absolutely, Kendall. Listen, just because you're part of the group, drop your Twitter @ in the chat, and then we'll bring it up. That way people know to follow you, man.
Facts.
Yeah, Kendall, come
on. I guess one of you guys can take positivity if you want.
Well, no,
from the game
I was gonna do everybody go a bad, everybody go a positive.
Cool.
No, we're all gonna go bad.
Let me take Juan's positive. No, let me take Juan's positive because I was there with him.
Okay,
so
do
I
it.
know what his.
Do it. Steal
Juan's positive, absolutely nothing.
Nah, there was 3 guys that
I guess
made my heart turn.
I guess from a positive thing, and it ties into what we've seen. I know it's future reference, whatever, but it ties into what we've seen. I guess throughout all of training camp. Salvon Ahmed obviously looks good. Myles Gaskin looks good. Tua, besides the one bad read where you can clearly tell he hesitated on that throw to Shaheen, looks good. He was putting the ball into spaces that was the problem everyone had all of last year. He wasn't trying to put it into those contested spaces. He had one, I believe it was to Shaheen, where he dropped it. I think it was in between 2 or 3 defenders.
It was. I think
he had another one
early first
to the left side.
I like this guy.
That's great.
I like this guy.
I've always liked Welch. Welch jumps in and gives Alana a tough time and always talks about Alana hating Duncan Robinson. So Welch has had a huge fan in me a long time.
I know we're gonna get in a tangent, but did you guys see Duncan Robinson at Summer League? Coming behind people. Yep. I literally tweeted out, if they did that to me to 19, I'm running. I'm gone. There's just nothing I can say.
You want to know what's sad? I stalked those parking lots for hours after games. No, I'm not kidding. And the thing is, the Heat games were during the day, so I would go outside in the heat looking for anybody. I'm like, somebody, Cron Butler, Bam, UD, somebody be out here, please. I didn't see a single one of them. That video comes out, bro, I almost killed myself. Sorry, Kai, continue.
Oh, my God. No, I think it's so hard after we go on tangents. I think that's one of the biggest things, and it's something that we have to mention. I know a lot of people aren't going to, especially with the struggles of the offensive line. I know that's going to be a topic of conversation, and we'll talk about the trade and everything later. I think one of the biggest things that I want to bring up is that the pass protection for the first team didn't look that bad. They really were not that bad at all. And Tua did have a lot of time. There was one rush where he did throw the ball away on a third down. I think it was in that first drive. But, he did have a good amount of time to throw the football. Michael Dieter seems to be kind of at least getting some of his own. He didn't look great, but he did have a red zone block where he absolutely destroyed his man. And, he's a dude who's been playing guard. He came out of one of the best offensive line schools in the country in Wisconsin that's known for making dudes that just beat up on people. And now he's starting at center, and I think he has been doing a good job for what they're asking him to do, and especially considering the circumstance. I think he hasn't been doing a horrible job. And we'll get into some other stuff from practice later. But they did a good job on that. I think the running game was poor though, and not just from the backs. It was the run blocking was just horrendous to watch. Those runs were going nowhere. I think things got a little bit better as we've seen a few practices, but it was brutal to watch. It really was.
Yeah, for me, I mean, the game had a lot of things going for it in terms of good and bad. On the bad side, obviously, we got to talk about the offensive line. We have a whole segment to talk about that. But little hint, my name here, Patience Brigade, is related to the offensive line. So I'll explain that one.
Aspect?
I'll explain more when we get there.
Okay.
I'll explain more when we get there. But for the rest of the team, look, I thought Tua looked fantastic up until that last throw, and that last throw was absolutely a mistake. Now,
it's funny that it was his last throw too, like almost to like give everybody something to talk about for the week.
Well, because it got even worse because I remember I tweeted out, right, because he finishes the first quarter, and he looked solid by the end of the first quarter, and I tweeted out, if Tua's done for the day, I'm absolutely ecstatic about his performance. I would have liked the touchdown, but the rest of it was fine. I'm happy with it. Then I think next 2 minutes he throws that interception. So my tweet looks horrible.
No, but think of he was driving down the field.
No, and at the time he was doing great. He was doing well. It was a mistake. There's no look. Could Shaheen have come back on the ball? Sure. Would I cut Shaheen? Yes, but for other reasons. But listen,
I think the stuff with Shaheen, like,
he did not
especially
comply
that
with
play,
coming
a
back
lot
with
of
the ball.
people, he did not. A lot of people,
the ball looked like it had a needle on it. He's like, nope, not touching that.
Yo.
He's like, I'm only touching that ball if you touched it without your gloves on. Sorry, go ahead, Kai.
Fuck, dude.
I don't know how I don't know how you follow that up, Kai.
I think the stuff with Shaheen and then the pass with Tua, honestly, like I've seen a lot of stuff that's been happening. I guess this relates to the game, so we can kind of go into a little bit of a side track on it. I think a lot of people have been trying to make it out to be something it isn't. I know there's been one specific thread that was posted yesterday and then kind of evaluated today or something like that, I guess, or reinforced today, where people are trying to say, oh, well, he had the interception, but look at this quarterback, look at that quarterback. Look, let's be honest on it. Like, whether you're a Tua stan or not, let's be completely blatantly honest. They, as in the Dolphins, had this play. Tua had Adam Shaheen open. He hesitated, and it just didn't work out. Mm-hmm. Like, he hesitated. Then
if he had thrown it a couple seconds earlier, it would have been absolutely fine.
I will say this, and I think we can like leave it at that after I say it. It's like he was, in my opinion, trying to go to Waddle no matter what. Because if you're on the left hash, if you're up the seam like Shaheen was, and you're staring at him wide open, but you're still going away, you more than likely already had predetermined you want to go to Waddle one-on-one. Unfortunately, Waddle didn't get open one-on-one, and Tua tried to go back to the open man, but at that point he was not open anymore.
And I'll shout out what we're an extension of, right? I'll shout out 3 yards per carry, which I will do that again later. But Simon mentioned it on the podcast, reviewing the game, and I think it was a fantastic point. Honestly, I'm happy that it got intercepted, right? That's what Simon said. It makes a lot of sense. You want him to get punished for making those kinds of mistakes. Because if that pass makes it through, he's kind of sitting there thinking, okay, I can do that, right? I can stare at Waddle all day and then just come back to the middle and it'll be absolutely fine. And if it's going to happen to him, I'd rather have it happen in the preseason. Agreed. I thought he played a fantastic game up until that mistake, and it was a big mistake. Now, do I think he could have had another chance to get a touchdown? Yes. After he threw the 50-yarder to Gesicki, and then they threw a slant, and then they were like, let's just run it twice in a row behind the softest push I think I've ever seen, right? We've talked all about offense so far, and I think let's talk about the defense before we get into the offensive line. But from an offensive standpoint, my thing is I do not trust any part of this running game. Not a single thing.
Wait, time out. I'm not going to go a whole show without shouting out Lynn Bowden Jr. Okay, we're that's not what we do here. I knew you were going to bring him up eventually. That's not what we're going to do here. 5 targets,
LBJ,
4 catches, 47 yards, 2 first downs, by the way, and a kickoff return. So let's just give my dog some credit. He
good for him.
You have the best practice. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, he's made the fringe of my roster. You're still behind Albert Wilson, though.
Fair, 100% fair. Agree.
So there we go. I think offensively, we'll have a lot to talk about. Running backs specifically, you said it. Ahmed played well. Myles Gaskin was not really playing too much, which I think I'm fine with. I think they just didn't want to use him up too much. And Malcolm Brown,
0.8 yards a carry.
Yeah.
Did he get any targets? Got 2 targets, 1 catch, 3 yards.
I mean, you were giving Malcolm Brown a tough time because Malcolm Brown did play really bad. But let's look at Gaskin. And if you take out his long run, right? His long was for 14. He's 3 for 5 without that one. And I'm pretty sure that was just a stretch play to the outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's just one of those things where, for me personally, I understand the offensive line isn't going to get much of a push. I'd like a running back that can break a few more tackles up the middle. And I don't think Malcolm Brown is that.
Are we going to do the running back talk tonight too?
I just need to say it. I think they should have done it. 3 yards per carry talked about it. And if they talk about it, I think I'm pretty validated, Juan. Okay? Think about all the options we passed up on. I want you to list all the running backs we haven't got.
I wanted Ramondre Stevenson, so I'm just,
I know you're not talking about Ramondre Stevenson like that's the issue.
There was a show here where Alf came on and I said, I've been studying Ramondre Stevenson all day.
Didn't you also want Mac Jones?
I didn't want Mac Jones. I said he would be good.
You thought Mac Jones was going to be good, right? You were hyped up about Chubby, right?
Listen, McCorkle, leave him alone. All right, he's dealing with his own stuff. He started off with number 50. He's going through some mental health right now. All right, he's in New England.
No, you also think Sam Darnold's going to beat the Dolphins? Like your takes are bad, bro. Like I think Sam Darnold
is going to have a resurgence, but that's neither here nor there.
You want to know something? I was watching Hard Knocks, and there was a backup quarterback that for a second I was like, "Oh my gosh, is that Sam Darnold?" And I think I just saw into the future, right? It's Sam Darnold QB4 in like 2 years,
like Josh Rosen.
Basically, no. Josh Rosen is QB0.
I don't even know where you're sitting at.
That was a good one.
But let's go to the defense. I want to talk about the defensive performance a little bit because first half amazing, second half Justin Fields is apparently the next greatest rookie quarterback of all time.
We'll be positive though. We'll be positive though, because
wait.
I mean, time out. Nick Needham was balling the fuck out. Okay, first of all,
hold on.
Superstar was superstarring things. Okay,
I need to bang the table about this Justin Fields.
Bang that table, motherfucker.
Listen, everyone was being so over the top. All right, just as much as we can look at everything it's the preseason, it's the preseason. The preseason reps for the ones were still the preseason reps against the ones. Justin Fields is playing against 2s and 3s the whole time. Of course, he's going to cook. It's going to happen.
He's playing against 3s because the ones didn't even start. Like the ones didn't even play.
Think about this. Like it's just, oh my god. I think that Justin Fields is going to be a very good quarterback. I think Chicago picked the best quarterback in the draft outside of what's his name, Trevor Lawrence. But you also think that Mac Jones is going to be a god, and that's a horrible.
I didn't say god. Time out. McCorkle is not coming out here like Thor. All right, let's just be honest here.
It's just this is ridiculous. Like this whole reaction has been absolutely ridiculous. I definitely think he needs to start week 1. I think that Matt Nagy not starting him is stupid, but it's ridiculous.
I found it cute that we had like some type of love with Bears fans up until it got into like the Tua versus Fields debate.
Who had love with Bears fans?
No, it was cool.
No,
people.
there was something like
there was cool people. I'll give them credit. There was some cool people.
Well, hold on a second. Look, I feel like the only reason anyone's upset about this whole thing is because Justin Fields came out and said that the game felt slow to him. Which
does that sound like Tua?
Exactly.
How they misconstrued his words and threw him in his face next week or whatever it was.
Right, sure. But we were all very hype about Tua when he first came out, right? He had one first down against the Jets at the end of a game that didn't matter, and we're all like, "Yo, let's go!"
Only first down of the whole game.
But time out. But that's what I'm saying. Stop. But this is what I'm saying. I'm okay with these people overreacting about this.
That's what's got Fitzmagic benched.
I'm fine with it because of this.
Winless Jets.
You're talking about the Bears.
24-0 win, right? I think that's what it was.
Magic.
You're talking about the Bears. The Bears. You're talking about the Bears. They haven't had a quarterback ever, basically. Okay.
They traded out for Mitchell Trubisky.
Hit me with a quarterback.
Rex Grossman.
I'm talking about my lifetime.
Rex Grossman, bro.
Rex Grossman is your lifetime. What?
But he's a UF guy. I get
Rex Grossman? You're really saying Rex Grossman's the guy? Rex Grossman's their thing?
It was a UF.
You're not saying that Rex Grossman is a god. Am I? No, I'm just saying that Rex.
Jay Cutler probably had a better time in Chicago than Rex Grossman.
Jay Cutler wasn't bad either.
Jay Cutler was not a good quarterback though. Dude, come on.
Okay, but Jay Cutler
was like the Stafford of his time.
Come on.
Okay,
yeah, but
have the Dolphins had a quarterback in our
has the Rams being a Super Bowl?
Have the Dolphins had a quarterback in our lifetime outside of Dan Marino when we were children and he was at the tail end of his career?
Chad Pennington.
Yeah,
I gave you one season of Chad Pennington, and I raised you his 30 shoulders.
That's all I need to be a lifetime.
His 30 shoulder injuries.
That's true.
Right, one season.
You only need one.
And that season, let's be honest, was carried by the fact that was the best offensive line.
I'm a Dolphins fan. I have nothing to go off.
That was the best offensive line the Dolphins have had probably in my entire life.
The Unicorns?
No, that one. Chad Pennington's offensive line when Tony Sperano was head coach.
With Jake Long rookie year.
they made the Wildcat work. I understand the Wildcat was a play that confused the Patriots because they were just too complex or whatever it was. But that offensive line got a hell of a push every time.
Was Brian Flores on the Patriots staff?
No, I don't think he was on the staff then. That was 2008.
I think he's been around since like the early 2000s.
They're out for a while.
No, I don't think he's been around there from the other 2000s.
Yeah,
Kai, look it up. You're the guy.
Okay.
Look, all I'm saying is, look, the Bears fans
right now. I'm looking up how the Miami. Let me.
The Bears fans want to get excited about Justin Fields. Look, we can be honest. Justin Fields looked good against the threes. Are either of you going to argue
really
that?
quick? No, I'm not going to. I just want to really quick. I just really want to. I always like to go back on things, right? Just for perspective again. 24-0. A 2-3 Miami Dolphins faced off against the 0-5 New York Jets. It went 3-3 to 0-6.
I'm wearing the jersey. Why are you coming after me?
Listen to me. Listen to me, okay? Because you said some stupid shit, and I got to.
I didn't. What I said is people overreacted, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, he threw a first down. It's amazing."
It was amazing.
Listen.
Well, I'll continue to talk about it because of the fact that. Oh, okay, you're back.
Listen. Sorry, I muted you again. I meant to unmute you. Third down efficiency. A 24-0 win. Third down efficiency, 1 of 9. You know who had that third down completion?
You know who was 0 of 8?
Tua.
You know who was 0 of 8?
Listen, I understand.
I
understand. I cannot believe this is a whole thing. All I'm saying is, we watched that and everyone was like,
he threw 2 picks in that game. Oh my God, I didn't even remember that. He threw 2 interceptions in that game.
This has nothing to do with Fitzmagic. This has nothing to do with Fitzmagic.
Facts.
What does this have to do with? All I'm saying is he throws one first down at the end of the game and everybody gets really hyped. Let the Bears fans have this with Justin Fields. That's all I'm saying. That was my whole point.
No, I'm not talking about Bears fans. I'm not talking about Bears fans. Yes, it was. I'm not talking about Bears fans. All right. I'm talking about the media. I don't get Bears fans.
They need something to run on. They need something to run on. Listen, I'd rather have them hyping up Justin Fields than crapping on Tua, which they did a fair amount of.
What is there crap on Tua right now? Like right now in this very moment, besides
there's
the
not.
Well, you see, Kai, the interception that he was throwing was actually him trying a throw he could have done in college before his hip injury.
What was there to crap on Tua before?
Lack of arm strength is
there was a lot to crap on Tua.
No. I'm saying before that game, before the Bears game. You're saying the Bears game solved all those things?
Michael, there was a 5 interception outing in minicamp in the middle of a monsoon.
That's what I'm saying. Like, listen, they were going to reach for whatever. If this is what they want to reach for, now go ahead. Y'all are, listen, y'all pissed me off. Somebody talk about defense, okay? Because I'm upset right now.
Shout out to Nick Needham, balled out. Superstar.
A boss,
can you say Nick Needham, though? Just Nick for
Needham?
me?
Nick Needham.
Because you don't pronounce the H.
Needham?
Yeah.
Needham.
That's what I said.
No, you said Needham. You say need ham all the time. Like you need ham.
Need him.
No, it's need him.
No, we need him. Need him.
You pissed me off, bro.
Dude, bottom line is he's so good. Like, I'm sorry, but Nick Needham is so
Facts.
good.
Trill Williams too. I'll shout out him out. There was a clip of him completely mugging a Bears receiver. I to this point, I think he's still missing. He's like in milk cartons at this point. I'm genuinely concerned.
I want people to do that. Was it a TikTok or something where it's like when somebody starts tripping and then it starts like passing them through and they like trip over a city and then the globe and then right into the sun. Yeah, I want somebody to do that.
Bro, Trill completely just that press was impressive. I'll just leave it at that. Very impressive by him. Noah, he had. So here's my thing with Noah. I feel like
one great play.
It's like a progression thing with Noah to where last year, if he was beat horribly. This year it's like he's like on their hip pocket, but he still hasn't figured out how to like play the ball yet. But he's close, bro. He's really close. Even on that moss that he got, he did get mossed. I don't know why I'm doing quotations. He did get mossed, but even on that one. If he turns around and actually, plays the ball, that's a pick, bro. That's a pick or at least a PBU. So,
but he had one earlier where he played the ball. He had that one where he puts out his, I think it was his right arm, like really quickly. He did get beat.
Like, he got lucky by the underthrow. Back and recovered. I think I'll give Noah some credit. I feel like he recovered very well.
Yeah, he didn't panic. He could have panicked in the recovery, and that usually kind of leads to him kind of running into the receiver. But he didn't panic. That was a good job by him. Anybody
on the front seven really jump out to you guys from that game?
Christian Wilkins.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Christian Wilkins. It looks like and I think some people kind of overdo it with Wilkins. They think he needs to be like the next Aaron Donald because he was drafted 13th overall, whatever it is.
Man, Aaron Donald wasn't supposed to be the next Aaron Donald.
Exactly.
Like,
but Wilkins, it's gotten to the point, man, where like, I don't think it's I don't think it's crazy to say he's like that, or he's like the soul of the team. Like the team moves with that guy, bro. Like he's energetic. He's a great leader. He's first in, last out. Like there's nothing for me to kind of just harp on with him. Obviously you might want some more sacks, but that's not his role. And if we went back last year, he helped out other people get at least 10 sacks, if anything, just because of him with stunts, with double teams, whatever it is. He definitely flashed against the Bears.
And he's part of what I think is, outside of secondary.
And Shaquem Griffin. Sorry,
other
ones.
No, you're
good.
One. Yeah,
I was gonna say
Shaquem. Yeah,
good games.
Shaquem was all over the place. He was getting his hands on the ball. I like Shaquem Griffin. My hope is that he makes this team. If nothing more, other than I think he's just one of the most likable guys I've ever seen on the Dolphins. Genuinely. Yeah. Like I don't think there's been another Dolphin that I have literally no reason to think anything else for him. And I say that wearing a Tua jersey. Like I feel like Shaquem Griffin is just a little more positive just because of everything that's happened with the quarterback position and all that kind of stuff. So I hope he makes a team. I'd be really excited about that. But no, unfortunately,
I don't want to say he's a lock, but the amount of special teams that he's playing, they have a plan. They have a plan for him for sure.
Now, if Shaquem Griffin makes it as one of those special teamers, though, that's going to throw off what we were always talking about, because there was a lot of guys that we talked about that were tough choices, and we judged them based off their special teams contribution.
Beagle.
And Shaquem, I don't think Shaquem Griffin was here yet when we did that 53-man roster.
I think we looked at him. If he was, I'm not sure if he wasn't.
I don't think he wasn't here. He wasn't here.
We kind of looked at, or at least I did. I looked at him as like, give him a roster spot. We have 90 guys. What's the worst that can happen? But he's by all means just taking that opportunity and for sure made the best out of it.
Yeah. Literally nothing but the best for Shaquem Griffin. I think all of us hope he makes the team. Let's talk about it though. The hot ticket item, right? The big cheese, and by cheese I mean that thing with a bunch of holes in it, letting defenders get after the quarterback. The offensive line.
Not even provolone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, provolone doesn't have holes in it.
Well, that's why I said not even provolone.
I know. That's why I already said the cheese with the holes.
Well, I said Swiss. I wanted to add to it.
You upset me.
That's fine. Hey.
Okay, listen. Cheddar's the best. You have a burger. What cheese are you putting on it?
Provolone.
I'm not putting American. I'm putting cheddar.
I'm putting cheddar. Listen, cheddar's the best one. Provolone is not.
Provolone I tried the other day Havarti cheese. Havarti, I think it is.
I like the way Havarti. Like it's just Havarti. Like cheese. Havarti cheese. It's like how you couldn't even say Alfredo's last name the other day.
We're working on
offensive line. Look,
Artiega.
Offensive line. You were the most upset about it, Juan. You have gone, in my opinion, off the deep end about it.
Not the most upset about it. I was the most vocal about it.
Okay.
Should we tie it into what we saw today, though? Because I think that from
no. I think we need to talk about. Saturday and then go off of Saturday, your reactions, and then what today might have done for you.
Well, Saturday, you probably.
Saturday Juan was not.
Austin Jackson might as well have smacked my grandmother. How bad I was offended. Like, I like at this point, I'm not even gonna front with y'all. Like, I was just.
Juan was in a horrible mood the whole time. Like, ask Alf, ask Matt, ask Lewis. That dude was in a bad mood watching that every single play. He's like, Austin Jackson again. You hear him, he goes, speed, he's good at speed. And what? Oh, he's bad at speed all of a sudden. Now he just doesn't know how to block speed. Like, it was
concerning because of all the things that he did well, guarding against speed was always his specialty, his forte. Power, crossing his face, he couldn't do it, he would struggle. What it looks like to me this year, he kind of put on some weight, try to bulk up to deal with the power, but now he can't deal with the speed, and he's still not dealing with the power. And what concerned me the most, and why I was so vocal, is that Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks, and Robert Quinn played less than 9 snaps each of them. Austin played 44 total snaps. Mm-hmm. We're talking about, 35 snaps of him getting beat like a drum by second and third stringers. And he's the 18th overall selection from 2020. And let's just be blunt about it. There is no competition for him. They have not given him any competition. And obviously now they made a move to apparently give him some competition, which we'll talk in a second. But as of Saturday, it was super concerning because I didn't see a quick fix. I didn't see a solution to the problem, because if you're going to try to demote him to teach him something like you did with Kinley, who the hell are you going to put in there? Coleman? Larnell Coleman?
I'm going to put in you.
I mean, at this point, I probably would have held a little better, but
no. You mean gotten a holding penalty?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Better than him.
Okay.
Yeah.
But not like it just overall was a very concerning, experience at this point, because like, my goodness, like Savon Ahmed catches a 20-yard touchdown and we're all excited, everybody's celebrating, and Kai looks at me and I'm just like this, because I saw Austin Jackson on that play. He got beat like a drum. Obviously, ball watchers, stat watchers, they won't see that.
Wow.
But, bro, Austin Jackson.
So hold on a second. So you're saying only ball watchers are happy with that play? Like you weren't no part of it.
No, I think for
sure. I understand that. Bad things happen on plays, but that play ended up well. So no part of you was sitting there thinking like, man, good play by Ahmed.
No.
Yeah, but
no, for me, no. I'll say no.
I think for sure. But like, even to put it into more of a perspective, right? Like in that same play that Dieter, and I want to watch it back because I know people did it a couple times. That's the first thing I noticed from Michael Dieter. And I was like, damn, Michael Dieter just got a great block. The first thing that Juan said was Austin Jackson just got beat again.
Okay, but Michael Dieter also had a lot of whiffs.
Right? But his game Saturday compared to what Austin Jackson's game Saturday was, as someone who's been there as a guard for the past 3 years and has been stashed away on the depth of the roster and now starting at center, compared to someone who's a first-round pick who's supposed to have all this raw talent.
Right. Okay, but
Michael, so I want to answer your question though. The reason why I don't get excited about that play, because it's against second and third stringers, and if they're beating him that badly, you put a Khalil Mack. No. You put a Khalil Mack in there.
But I'm not talking about getting excited about Austin Jackson. I'm saying the other things that did work on that play, because that's what I'm saying. You can't take that one thing. And
it's hard for me to project that play actually working.
So then when Tua throws the interception, are you thinking to yourself, man, at least the offensive line held up?
They didn't hold up. That's the thing.
On the interception, I don't remember it. Oh, fine. Yeah. But on the other plays, you're telling me Tua never missed a throw when the offensive line.
There was a couple plays where they actually had really good protection. Did Tua miss any throws on those? No. One of them was a drop by Shaheem. I think it was on either first down or third down. I can't remember.
He thought it was Pfizer.
Yeah.
The ball said Pfizer on the side, so he let go.
Yeah, he was for sure not catching that. But yeah, man, like, I don't want to beat on Austin Jackson. It took all week for me to beat on him.
We'll talk about today's practice, because I think today's practice has maybe helped at least a little bit. But this is the way I was feeling about it from before, right? And I put patience for grade in the name. Yeah, this is my thing, right? I already felt this way. I think Chris Kaufman felt that way separately, and I think he put it much more eloquently than I ever could, because he just knows more about this kind of stuff than I do. For me, I'm not going to sit here and give up on Austin Jackson or panic on Austin Jackson after one game, a preseason game, especially when I saw him go out there last year. And I don't remember. I know he didn't play all 16 games, but I think
he started. They got hurt, then started again.
Right. So what did he end up playing? Like 8 to 10 games, somewhere in that range?
I want to say maybe like 12-ish.
Okay, so like 12-ish games. In those 12-ish games, I don't remember many times where I thought to myself, Austin Jackson looks like he has no place in the NFL.
No. I agree.
Which I think we can agree, he looked like that a lot of times on Saturday. Like on Saturday, there was a lot of moments where a lot of us were thinking to ourselves, okay, that was a horrible pick. This is going to blow up in their face.
13 games he played. Sorry.
13. I'm not going to overreact over that one game. If this is how he looks all preseason, right? The entire preseason, he looks like this consistently, where it's like every third or fourth play, he gets absolutely abused on the edge, then fine. If that's the way he looks, then fine. Let's do it. But I want to give him the preseason. I'm going to give him the benefit of that because he did it last year. And I'm not going to come into the first game that he's played in 8 months. The first game he's played in 8 months.
Yeah.
He gets people like a drum outside. If he bulked up, he's having to learn to play with a new body. He's having to learn to play under a new system again. Yeah. There's a lot of things that can be going against it. I'm not saying that Austin Jackson is going to be fine. Again, you know more about this stuff than I do. Alfredo does. So does Chris. So does Simon. Kai probably does too. He probably put up a stinker, and he might not be it. But right now, I'm not ready to like give up on Austin Jackson, which in my opinion, not you necessarily, but a lot of people on Dolphins Twitter were like, kick him to the street. We're done with him. Yeah. I'm not going to do that after one game because it's not like we can say that about an offensive tackle and not other positions. Right? Like another position messes up and they're like, oh, it's fine. It's
guy, but I understand what you're saying.
Well, let's be honest. Tua's had bad games. When Tua had bad games, we would sit there and think, let's get rid of Tua.
100%.
Especially when Austin Jackson was coming off of his, what did he give up? Bone marrow?
Yeah.
Like, there's just a lot of stuff against him. I'm going to give him benefit of the doubt for one game.
I just want to corroborate Juan's statement on that touchdown to Stephon Ahmed. It's not that Austin Jackson got beat. It's that he turned into Casper the Friendly Ghost and he was able to see through.
No, I was talking about Tua's interception earlier.
No, I know. I just want to corroborate his statement because he was talking about that. And I'm not trying to do this like overreaction.
Damn right,
I definitely think that Austin Jackson deserves time, just like Noah deserves time. I mean, I think we all think that next year for Noah is the year. Yeah. Like it's like, okay, next year is the year. And maybe, like Juan likes to say and like Alf likes to say, it's like, ball watchers are going to be upset with that and they're going to sit there and be like, well, it's a first round pick. I need production now. But let's be real. Like even at a Christian Wilkins now in his third year, this is when he's starting to finally turn it up. Like, so like I think he was good his first year. I think he was getting a lot better last year.
Which is what I'm saying with Austin Jackson.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I agree with you. Obviously we're all kind of overreacting a little bit. I definitely think so. But we're also seeing the fact that we think that there's been a lot of growth out of Tua and it's undeniable to say that there hasn't. And we're just concerned that the person who's supposed to hold the keys to our franchise, like, let's be real, if Jacoby Brissett has to be the quarterback this season, we're going to go nowhere.
But this is the one place
comes off the edge on, his
sure. But this is the one place where I'm gonna also give Austin Jackson's a little bit lucky too in this regard, which is if Austin Jackson's the left tackle for a different team, I think we're talking a whole different scenario here. Tua's a left-handed quarterback.
Yeah, I mean,
left tackle is not his blind side. Left tackle is not his blind side.
I'm going to say the opposite. I feel like if he was somebody's blindside blocker, they would chip that way. And you saw a lot of the Bears game. Jesse Davis was the one getting chips. Jesse Davis was getting the tight ends on that side. So in essence, because he's not on to his blind side, he is isolated.
Right, he is isolated. But if I'm going to risk one of the two tackles, right? If I've got a guy that I'm not super sure on and I just want to see what he's going to give me, if Tua's my quarterback, I'd rather be left tackle, especially because Tua's mobile. Tua can move in the pocket, and he did multiple times. He did multiple times, right?
Yeah, so 100%.
If it's going to happen on the left tackle side, okay, right? I think you've got a little bit more time to figure that out because we know that the Dolphins were trying to figure out right tackle for years.
Yeah.
And that was never working out. And now we feel like we have a decent enough right tackle in Jesse Davis with the help we can give him out there that our blind side is fine. That again, that's
I'll be honest. I like our right side. There was a clip I posted on Twitter. It was Hunt and Jesse Davis on elite ISO. And bro, that double team they did on I think it was 95. That's something you build on. That's how you start an offense. That's how you start a game, bro. They mauled that dude and pushed him 2-3 yards on the field.
Robert Hunt has also been trending on the up. Like for it's just I feel like last year all we consistently said was, damn, Robert Hunt. Like I feel like that's just kind of
Robert Hunt was the only one that didn't start of the three of them, right?
Right, but it was still
like later in the year.
Yeah, but when he got in, it was like, damn, if him and then Saul McKinley, if they can keep it up, if they can, develop more,
they were both on the right side. Yeah.
It could look like a great draft. And now Solomon seems like he's a little bit out of it. Well, when we get into today's practice, Liam was starting again, but it seems like maybe Solomon might get some chances, but.
Now we could say Solomon was second team. He's per the Dolphins depth chart, he's second team. So we can say it.
So
let's make sure we're saying the right things here. I'll ask you guys this though. So Aaron is asking who's the best O lineman on the team as of right now, and so we'll answer that. Yeah, transition it into today's practice. I was going to say.
Okay, I mean,
for sure.
If we want to talk about today's practice, and I guess if we want to focus on the trade a little bit, because I know we want to talk about that, dude got smoked. I know he just got traded. He flies down the next day.
Can we say that?
Talking about Greg Little. Yeah, we can.
Why?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I need you to figure it out.
Don't worry. No, don't worry.
No, he's not on the depth chart, but the trade was announced.
But I'm saying like how he did.
Don't worry.
I don't even know.
Don't worry about that right now. We're good. Trust me. Me and Juan had conversations. Don't worry. We know what we're supposed to say and not supposed to say, right, Juan?
Facts.
We know. Yeah.
Right, Juan?
But he got dude.
Yeah,
He got
got a whole list.
legitimately he got smoked today. Like his first 2 reps he had a horrible first rep and the second rep was a penalty. Like
I think his
and it
first
was
rep
on
had a
13.
false start. I think if his first rep was a false
It
start.
was the
by Greg
second
Little.
one. Second one.
Was
Well,
the
and
second?
I saw somebody tweet it out. I don't know if it's a Panthers writer or somebody. I don't know who it was, but somebody tweeted out, "Greg Little is not good. Dolphins fans, calm down." That was the whole tweet.
I saw that. I think it was like Rise Draft or something like that. Yep,
Yeah.
I saw that.
To me though, again, I'm fine with this trade. Right? They gave up a 7th round pick. I'm never going to believe. Yeah, I'm never going to be a believer that 7th round picks are. Didn't they give up a 7th round pick for the other guy too?
Isaiah Wilson.
I think that's the 7th round pick they got back because, and then
so they traded for Isaiah Wilson and then spent that to get a second tackle, and it's not looking good early.
Well, if you think about it, this is now
I
the
hope
3rd
Isaiah
right
Wilson's
tackle they
doing
try
well.
or 3rd tackle they try to get. So, I think the Dolphins do recognize that they need something. Like we don't know
When
what
do you
it
think
is.
it's happened to Mitchell Schwartz? I know we've been talking about it a lot, but when do you think it happens?
I don't think they're gonna pay that money for him. I think he if I had understood right when everything was happening with him in Kansas City, is that he was leaning more towards retirement. And now I'm seeing he's more of like working out and doing that stuff. I think he might come back maybe on a cheaper deal, but I just don't see the Dolphins spending that money right now, to be honest.
That makes me sad.
But I will sandwich some positivity in here. I will give Austin credit today because we're talking about today's practice now.
Mhm.
Today he bounced back now, and I posted it on Twitter very bluntly. I said he may have lost some reps like he did last week, but he also won some reps unlike he did last week. So this week he for sure. And he's a young guy.
He was much better.
Yeah,
Isn't he 21?
He's 22.
He's 22?
Yeah, he's a young guy, and he probably heard the noise. Like he's not oblivious to it. He for sure probably heard the noise, and his first 3 reps, Michael, I can tell you, were complete domination by him. Like power, the punch was there. It wasn't lunging. He wasn't pushing. Were there some inconsistency? Yeah, for sure. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it either. Like it wasn't all fine and dandy, but it was a great response from that terrible week last week to now seeing him now first time in pads again, and him kind of growing from that terrible experience. So I was very encouraged today seeing him play like that.
And I just think we need to understand what kind of bar we need to set for Austin Jackson. I think that's what everybody needs to be ready for. I think last season, honestly, the offensive line was much more stable than many of us would have anticipated going into the year.
Facts.
Like a lot of us would have.
He looked really well before he got injured. That's the other thing I think is like we were all kind of surprised. Like I know everyone was fighting Mina Kimes because we were like, look, he's not that bad.
Wow, that's a
come on, right? Like that's
throwback.
That's
facts.
But like, let's be real. Like he didn't look horrible until he came out from his injury. Then it started looking really bad. Like when he came out from his injury, then he started looking really bad. Before that, we were like, all right, he's young. Obviously, he's raw. That was the whole conversation with him and Noah. And they're young and they're raw. If he's gonna play like this, then we can build on it. And then he came back from his injury, and it just wasn't that good.
And again, let's be honest. The Austin Jackson. I am no draft expert, but according to the people that I think are draft experts, it's not like Austin Jackson was really the highest rated guy on their boards.
Yeah,
right.
I was gonna say, watch what you say. There was some threats that I saw.
There was threats. What are we talking about?
All
right, we'll talk about it later.
Bro, if you're on OnlyFans, you better watch out.
No, I remember listening to them talk about tackles on 3 yards per carry last year, and they were like, listen, Austin Jackson wasn't the highest guy on our board, and he's not the guy that we would have gone with necessarily. Right? It's not like his USC tape was blowing anybody out of the water.
I'll corroborate and say a lot of people that are a lot of draft experts felt that way. It was,
and last season he wasn't bad. So look, let's see where he goes. He had a better day today. Maybe he needed that wake-up game, right? Maybe he just needed it. Maybe he doesn't like playing the Bears, right? Maybe something about their jersey color. He freaks out and he's going to come out and destroy everybody else, right? He just doesn't like dark jerseys.
I'm going to probably tangent here, but can we talk about okay, like I understand the O-line's a concern, but like now we're like 3 weeks into training camp and we've seen Fuller all of like 3 practice snaps. Devontae practicing seldomly. Albert Wilson has not practiced, I think, in like a week and a half now. Preston's on PUP. Alan Hearns went on IR. Are you guys feeling any type of way about this? Like, what's your thoughts on it?
No,
On the
because
receiver room?
Yeah.
I feel like Kai and I don't know what you're thinking. Yeah, Kai, here's what I'm thinking. Shocker. Oh my gosh. Who would have guessed that the wide receiver room was missing players? They're missing practice time? Damn, they never miss time.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Literally the entire wide receiver room has a history of injuries. Has a history of missing time.
Kendall said Ford's out too. So yeah. we're done. We're fried.
And let's be honest. Tua better learn to throw to the other guys because at some point he's gonna have to.
Oh no! If you've seen practice, I think Matt Collins at this point is like prime for like
a research. Matt Collins is a goat. Yeah. He's
like,
stuck.
Like at this
Matt
point,
Collins
like
is making a team.
Yeah.
He's one piece Luffy for the team, right? Because that's just how it's gonna go. He keep coming back in anime cosplay, bro. Look, I wish they were playing. I wish they were out there.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that they're not. Is all I'm saying. I wish the best for those guys.
So let me rephrase it. Because it's not, I guess it's not really the concern. Do you think the Dolphins are being maybe overly cautious because of everything you kind of just said right now, Michael?
If they are, I'm going to trust them with it personally, because why not? Why risk them getting injured in practice when, let's be honest, it doesn't matter, right? I understand everybody talks about, oh, you want them to build chemistry with Tua. One's going to run a route. The other one's going to throw the ball. You got to be on time. I think the chemistry stuff matters, but not really that much. Not to the point where it's like Will Fuller's talent is going to make up for whatever chemistry they're going to miss. So for me, I'm fine with that if that's what they're doing.
Kendall, we've learned that that's him. That's literally just him.
I'm Kendall, bro.
We've gone over this like literally sideways, front ways, back ways,
Kendall,
in between ways.
You, bro.
Guys, be nice. Kendall's new. Guys, be nice. Kendall's new.
I know. I like it though. I respect it. Yeah,
Kendall. We met Kendall. Kendall's cool people.
I'm not gonna lie. I said the same thing.
First of all, it's Oladipo. Okay, that's my guy.
Oladipo.
Don't misspell Oladipo. Second
jersey on, Mike. Show him how to spell
Oladipo's
it.
coming back. It's in my room. It's respect to Oladipo. Derrick Rose, I don't care about. Just respect my guy.
I want an office. What the hell?
Respect Vic, please.
Mhm.
Wait, what? What? Juan's not in his room right now.
Yeah.
Right, Juan?
Office.
No, I am.
Oh, that's not an office.
Mm-mm.
You just have your office set up in your room.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Hey, I mean, there's a dresser there, so I wasn't gonna say anything, but
I didn't know. I'm just trying to figure it out.
That's for aesthetic.
Anything else jump out to you guys today from practice? Because there was a clip floating around.
All of our notes.
There was a Waddle clip floating around. Quite interesting, but
that clip. We could talk about it though. We didn't post it. Waddle was definitely explosive, like for sure. Like
even on one leg.
Shit, at this point, I'm thinking he could do it with no legs. Like
he's actually gonna float around like Casper.
Damn near, bro. Nah, man. Like Waddle at this point, like as much as we want to fight and say the O-line sucks and we should have gotten, I don't know, fucking Penei Sewell or Rashawn Slater or whatever it is. At this point, I think it's kind of fair to just say Waddle is that dude, bro. Even at 5'9", 172 pounds, that guy is just different, bro. There was a play and it was, the one we talked about at the beginning where
I'm thinking of a different one too, bro. There was one where he literally stretched out.
You're right. You're right. His catch radius is actually kind of been like the more surprising thing for me outside of the limp, because of the fact that it's like it's honestly it's impressive. The dude's 5'9", 172, soaking wet. Like my goodness, I did not expect him to be laying out as much as he is.
If only you guys had listened to someone who was banging the table for Jalen Waddle for months before the draft.
Remember he flip-flopped?
Because of peer pressure, and then I learned never to do that again.
Oh, for sure.
You bunch of jokes.
Limb out. I'm harping on giving positive as loudly as negative. Lim Bowden did have 2 drops today. Not the cleanest practice from him, especially after a relatively positive week during the game. I kind of expected him to kind of keep it rolling. We'll see. Maybe he's just a gamer. I really at this point I'm genuinely don't know. But he did not have the best practice today. Gesicki, bro, I'm telling you right now, Gesicki looks like he's about to have 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns, bro. Like that
Are we
guy.
all in the same fantasy league?
He upped it too. No, Juan's not in it. He upped it too
Oh,
though
okay.
because earlier today he said 1,109, so he's giving him an extra.
Yeah, I'm going double
giving extra.
double digit TDs at it for Gesicki. I
Okay.
just see it, bro.
Can I ask you something? And I'm gonna be honest, and people are gonna get on me about this, but I'm gonna be picky, right? Because I want perfection.
Picky on Gesicki?
No, I'm gonna be picky on the Gesicki
Oh.
catch
Oh,
from the preseason game. Juan, let me just. Is it just me, or was that just a tad behind him?
which one? The corner or the
The one that he
There
got
was
for
two.
50 yards. The one that he got for 50
Okay.
yards. In my opinion, it was just look, it was a great throw. I'm not gonna take it away from him. It was fine. My only thing
Dude,
is
he's just a
maybe
Tua hater, bro.
no,
Juan,
I'm
he
being
calls you
legit.
a
If it's
Tua
just
hater.
no,
Listen
I'm
to
just
him,
being
bro.
honest. If it's just a little bit more in front of him, I feel like he breaks away on that one.
Nah. I mean, yeah, you're right. The ball.
It's just, that's what I'm saying.
The
It was just a
ball
little
could have
bit
been a little
right.
more
He had to
forward, for
slow
sure,
down a
if I'm
little bit to get
nitpicking.
it.
But
Okay.
he's not scoring on those. Bro.
I'm just
Like,
making sure.
We
I'm just making
saw
sure
that
about
with San Francisco. He had a 70-yarder, and I love Gesicki. He doesn't have those extra
Bro, and
30
his
yards. in
strides
him.
are so long.
No, for sure.
bro.
Look,
he runs like a deer.
He'll get you that 60, 70-yarder, but my guy doesn't have like that gear 5 to just and then hit it for
Is
the
there?
extra.
Can you
20,
think of a
30.
tight end that has that right now?
Kelsey, Waller.
Kelsey, Waller, yes. Kelsey, I don't think runs away like that right now. Right now,
Travis Kelsey.
breakaway speed on a cornerback. Stop
Bro,
it. Stop it.
Travis Kelsey. We're
The
talking about
breakaway
the,
speed.
We're not talking
I-
about Jason Kelsey. We're not talking about the center from the Eagles. We're talking about the tight end from the
I
Chiefs,
agree with you.
right?
Travis Kelsey is an amazing tight end, and he's top 2 in the league right now.
And
Number
he's
1.
he's not too.
Right. But speed wise, I'm just talking about the speed, right? I'm saying there's a guy chasing him. They're both running. I don't think he's gonna break away like that. Not right now.
You well.
At 32?
Well, bro. He shaved, bro. He's
no,
more
fuck
aerodynamic
that
now.
Bro, he looks so bad.
Looks like a gremlin, bro.
Bro, Juan, you should shave your beard.
It would be little to no difference. It's like,
That's true.
yeah,
Dude,
like
Kelsey
what are we gonna do
looks-
here?
I can't I know for a fact I can't lose mine. I'm not doing
Nah,
that.
bro. You
Nah,
look
that'd
like
be
one of
bad.
those that
Yeah.
needs a beard, 100%. Yeah.
100%.
Damn, bro,
100%.
you gotta do him like that.
No,
He
no,
does
but
me
it's
like that all the
it's facts,
time, bro.
though.
Gotta get my shots in.
No, but it's true though. Listen, if I shave my beard right now, I get in trouble. I'm not gonna lie.
Also,
100% get in
top
trouble.
performers for the day, I said Gesicki because he was balling. He bailed out Tua early on with some crazy one-handed catches. Eric Rowe had a hell of a play on Kyle Pitts. Like one-on-one, like on 11 versus 11. Javon Holland is running into it, but couldn't get into it. And Alfredo did call the play of the practice. He literally just by himself just completely PBU. So that was a great play by him. Savon, he had a 45-yard bomb by Tua, which again, it's just looking like, bro, Savon is gonna be that. And I think Omar said it. He's reaching that level of Reggie Bush as far as a receiver.
Whoa,
yeah.
Bro, hold on.
Yeah,
Wait a
Michael.
minute.
Michael.
No, but okay, no, because I want to understand this. I just want to make sure. Like he's reaching the path to get that way because
He's
to
the
me,
best.
Reggie Bush is one of the best pass
He's-
catching backs I've ever seen
In my opinion, he's the best since Reggie Bush.
on this team.
Yeah, on any of the Dolphins teams since Reggie
Sure.
Bush.
On the Dolphins, fine.
Yeah,
Because here's my thing, right? You say Reggie Bush. I mean, that's big.
that's big. No, that is big.
Right.
But the guy's catching things. He's catching things that wide receivers that we have struggle with.
Stop it.
I stopped
Be
3
nice.
times to say it
I
right.
know.
Like
Good.
yeah.
Watch yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's catching things that some wide receivers would struggle with. And
so
it's
then
like
Savon third down back.
I would say for sure at this point. I like genuinely, yeah, he's
So
earned
then
himself that third down back.
You know what they should do? Go sign Le'Veon Bell and have him play the first 2 downs.
God, thank you.
He
Do
can add
the
himself
thing.
add himself
Do the
back.
thing.
Do the
No,
thing.
do the
Do the
thing.
thing.
Stupid.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Who's gonna live off that cheesecake?
I'm
bro?
right, bro.
And shout out to
But listen to 3 yards per carry. They agree with me.
shout out to Jason McCourty today. One of the last plays on 11-11 was like a bomb by the defense. This was like the third string defense, by the way.
Yeah.
McCourty was on the sideline. I kid you not. The minute that bomb was thrown, they scored, and people were walking back. They might as well have smacked Jason's mom, like, or something, because the dude started screaming like up their ass, like, what's going on? Who blew that? Why did you blow that? And I love that type of leadership, because you're putting a foot in somebody's ass, bro, and you're expecting excellence from your top guys all the way to your 53rd guy.
There's been tweets about today's practice having been fiery, because there was also word on the internet. I don't know, I wasn't there, about Tua possibly yelling at Austin Jackson or getting into his ear as well.
I saw that. I didn't personally see it like in person, but I saw the
right. I saw it. Listen, I'm fine with it. If this team wants to get on each other, I'm fine with it, because that tells me that what they expect is excellence. What they expect is winning.
When Ryan Tannehill does it to practice squad players.
Okay, that's different.
Time out. What he said to practice squad players was, enjoy your Super Bowl or something.
That was too far, bro.
Yeah.
Some people have said that that's a good statement by him. I just want to point that out. But whatever.
Some people have said that. I'm not one of those people. But
some people that we all trust.
Good news for you, Kai. Inter Miami just won. So
is that the first game they won this year?
No, bro. That's like they've
calendar year.
But it was from
bro.
It was from their worst. It was from their worst player, which is hilarious. So. Like their worst player got them.
Good for them. The only thing other that we'd have to talk about is that they play the Falcons this Saturday. We have a whole pregame show lined up. I think we can save it for then. I think the only thing we can talk about now is I absolutely expect the win, because the Falcons looked atrocious in their preseason game.
How do you guys think they? I don't know if we actually. I feel like maybe we talked about this, but how do you guys think they're gonna do as far as like starters? Do you think the second preseason game?
We talked about we talked about it a little bit. You said you thought third game was going to be dress rehearsal.
I'd say so. Okay, we talked about it. Yeah, because I think.
Well, no, that's fine. I think Tua's going to go
2 weeks after the third game, where it's just like nothing.
I think Tua's going to go at least halfway through the second quarter. I think so. I don't see why. I don't see why take him out at the same pace again. Right, let him go 1.5, and then next week let him go 2 halves. I mean, not 2 halves, 2 quarters, and then pull him. Right, ramp it up slightly.
I want Liam playing the whole game. I'm just want to go on record. Is that?
Yeah. Let's go out on this. What is the offensive line right now from all the players that we have? What is the offensive line that you guys want to see out there?
I don't even
and go left tackle to right tackle. Okay, Juan.
I'll go Austin. Mm-hmm. I want to see Solomon on left guard. I want to see Dieter at center, Hunt at right guard, and I want Liam at right tackle. That to me is that's the best way. That's the best way to create your depth. Where at that point you can actually use Jesse as like your swing tackle. You could play guard too, and you're kind of letting the rookies or the young guys, they're not all rookies, but the young guys kind of like, I guess, go through the lumps early in the year to where by later in the year, hopefully they catch a stride, they're gelling, and they kind of, grow together.
I think for me, I'm in agreement with you completely, except for right tackle. I want to keep Jesse Davis there for myself, because to me, outside of Robert Hunt, Jesse Davis is the next most sure thing.
So you're having Liam just on the bench?
I'm putting Liam on the bench, or I'm having him at left guard. Or I'm trying him out at left guard.
You're basically letting...
Yeah, I want to see him play right tackle. I want to see him play it, and I'll let him do it after Jesse's out. And I think he'd get a chance to play with that group, because I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm sure you did. Jesse came out way before the rest of that offensive line.
He did.
Jesse Davis, right? So when that happens, put Liam in, see what he looks like with that same 5. But to start, I want to see Jesse Davis there. I just don't see Liam Jesse Davis behind.
Just to be clear, Tuesday it was just a walkthrough. Jesse Davis did not practice because he had him and his wife had their kid. I don't know if it was boy or girl.
Congratulations to
them. So they had actually Liam right tackle, Solomon left guard. So it looks like that's the backup plan. We'll see if it actually ends up being like the plan.
Yeah, and let's just answer these 2 questions before we go. Thank you, Aaron and Kevin, for sending these in, and thank to the rest of you for watching as we close out here. Aaron asks, does X play next week, or do we save him for the season?
I wouldn't play him a single down in preseason, to be honest.
Okay. Kai, does X play preseason?
No chance.
At all? Okay.
Nope.
I'm fine with that, just because I feel like he has nothing to prove and nothing to work on. We know what he is. We know what he has. He knows the system.
Let me see more of Trill. Let me see more of Noah.
Yeah.
Let me see more
Figure
of
out what to do with the other 14 cornerbacks that you have in that room, because you've got
and they're all
a
good.
hell of a lot of them. Is Fuller really hurt or just resting? Man, I'd be surprised if he's just been resting this whole time. Like, if he's healthy enough to play, I'd be surprised.
The thing is, all the injuries are kind of weirdish. Like, even like Phillips' injury, like we saw him running gassers, we saw him on the bike. So it's things where you see them being active, but like they're still holding something. There's something still holding them back. What it is, we don't know. All we can kind of go based off is the rules that we currently have, which is if it's a concussion, they have to announce it. Anything else other than that, they really don't. So it's just kind of tough.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching the show. Juan and Kai, thank you guys as always. Well, thank you, Kai. Juan, you suck. Oh, okay. You were bowing. I thought you were telling me to wrap it up. I'm like, that's what I'm doing. Don't forget to check out Thrive Fantasy, guys. Again, there's a link in the description where it'll automatically do the 5 fins code, I think is that link. And there is a separate link to join the competition that's going on right now. It is the 5R fins competition. It is all Dolphins parlays. Go in there, check it out. It is a fantastic time. Thrive Fantasy is a place that you want to be this season. 3 Hours Per Carry has a new episode dropping tonight, I believe. I think I saw them tweet that out. So absolutely go check that out, because if you liked this, you absolutely love that. I don't see how you would like us more than them. That's just not possible.
We're like the light version of them.
Yeah. I mean, we're like the light version.
Like decaf.
We're the millennial version of that one, right? We're the TikTok to their Vine.
Damn.
Right?
That's what Snap, though?
That's what we are, though. Let's be honest.
Be Snap? Like, they could have at least done like Facebook and us Instagram. But
when we're putting up stuff like this, stupid. We're the TikTok. We're the TikTok. This is just how it is. Right? We're with those Z kids or whatever the hell they call them now. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back next week on Wednesday again. But when the regular season starts, we'll be going twice a week. The days that we're going, starting in September. And what days are we going?
Tuesdays, Thursdays.
Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesday will be a post-game kind of wrap-up of what happened that week. Thursday will be a preview of the next one. And obviously, we will do pre-game shows.
Y'all is going to see our faces throughout the season.
A lot this year. All of these faces that belong nowhere other than radio, you will get to see a lot of them. So thank you guys very much for watching the show. You guys have a good night. And as always, fins up.